The Hall of Concord glimmered under the pale glow of distant suns as the representatives of 50 species gathered for what they believed would be a routine assembly. For centuries, the galaxy had operated under the idea that humanity was a minor power. Humans traded fairly, spoke politely, kept to their corner of space, and never raised their voice. They were almost too polite, some thought, too calm, too quiet. That calm broke on a day that began like any other. The hall doors opened with a soft hum as the envoy from Earth stepped inside. His name was Rian, a lean man dressed in a simple gray suit that lacked any markings of rank or power. Many in the chamber barely noticed him, assuming he would take his usual seat near the back and remain silent until the meeting ended. Humans rarely spoke unless directly addressed. Their restraint was nearly legendary. Entire diplomatic courses were built around how humans would rather compromise 10 steps than demand one. But today, Rian did not head for his seat. He kept walking until he reached the central platform. A hush fell as every delegate turned toward him. Humans did not step onto that platform without permission. It was reserved for emergencies, declarations, or criminal defense. Rian requested none of those. He simply stood there, hands clasped behind him, and waited. The presiding moderator, a broad-scaled being named Hernet, clicked his ridged jaw in annoyance. Humans never caused trouble, but the breach of protocol was clear. Hernet addressed him with the tone one might use for a lost child. "Representative of Earth, state your purpose." Rian lifted his eyes. They were cold, flat, without the usual softness that made humans seem harmless. When he spoke, his voice carried the stillness of deep oceans. A human colony has been attacked. The population was captured. We demand their return. The hall erupted into a chorus of shifting voices. Some barked questions. Others hissed denials. A few muttered that humans must be exaggerating. Rian waited for silence before continuing. "We have traced the attackers to the Kavor Dominion. We request the Council to enforce the Treaty of Mutual Defense." The Kavor delegate, a tall figure with crystalline limbs, rose with a dismissive gesture. "There is no record of such an attack. Humanity is mistaken." Rian raised a small device and activated it. A hologram filled the hall. It showed burning structures, civilians forced into transports, a Kavor emblem stamped on each armored soldier. The evidence was undeniable. The hall became deathly quiet. Hernet leaned forward with a slow breath. "This is grave, but the Council requires time to investigate. Until then, Earth is ordered to stand down." Rian's jaw tightened. "We will not stand down. You have 24 hours to return our people. After that, our army will retrieve them." A ripple of unease moved through the chamber. The galaxy knew humans had soldiers. Every species did. But no one had ever seen the human military force mobilize in full. They assumed humans had small defensive fleets, nothing more. For 900 years, humans had never fired first, never threatened war, never shown force. The Kavor delegate laughed, a harsh crystal clatter. "Your army, your small vessels. You cannot challenge a Dominion fleet." Rian simply bowed his head. "Then we will show you what a human professional army truly is." He left the hall without another word. The galaxy talked for hours after his departure. Some called the humans reckless. Others called them naive. A few called them doomed. But no one expected what came next. 24 hours later, the sky above the Kavor border lit with signals. At first, the Kavor command assumed it was a meteor wave. Then they detected propulsion, then formation, then precision. Thousands of signatures arranged in a pattern so exact it looked like a drawing carved across the stars. Human ships, but they were not the modest craft the galaxy remembered from trade routes. These were sleek vessels of black alloy that absorbed the light around them. Their hulls bore no markings. Their engines emitted no heat visible to sensors. They moved like a single organism, sensed with an efficiency that made even veteran admirals uneasy. On the Cavor, flagship Admiral Vikrit watched the display with disbelief. This cannot be the human fleet. They are too organized, too silent, too many. A young officer spoke with shaking limbs. Admiral, they are requesting communication. Put them through. The screen shifted to reveal a woman in a dark uniform. Her name tag simply read Mara. Her posture was straight. Her voice calm. Return the captured civilians. Immediately, Admiral Vikrit scoffed. And if we do not, Mara blinked once. Then we proceed. At first Vikrit laughed. Then the human fleet vanished from every sensor. Not cloaked, not hidden, simply gone. Cavor operators scrambled to locate them. Alarms blared. Officers shouted. Then a tremor ran through the flagship as every planetary shield along the border deactivated at the same time. No explosions. No breaches. Just deactivated. Human infiltrators had already been there. Within seconds, human drop teams descended like falling stars. They landed without noise. They moved through Cavor fortresses with mechanical precision. They disabled every weapon system with small targeted pulses. Their rifles emitted silent bursts of energy that shut down armor without harming the occupants. They advanced without hesitation, without rage, without waste. This was not the fury the galaxy expected from humans. This was something far more terrifying. Professionalism. Not a single shout. Not a single taunt. Every soldier moved with training so refined it seemed unnatural. Their coordination surpassed even the most disciplined species in known space. Cavor. Troops attempted resistance, but fell in minutes. Not killed. Not destroyed. Simply neutralized. Human soldiers avoided unnecessary force with calculated accuracy. Their objective was extraction, not annihilation. In the capital city prison dome, the human units reached the captives. The civilians were shaken, but unharmed. One soldier knelt before them. We are here for you. Follow us. The civilians obeyed without fear. Humans trusted their soldiers like no other species. Because their soldiers earned that trust every day. As they evacuated, the sky filled again with dark shapes. More human ships, larger, stronger, enough to blot out half the horizon, enough to make entire districts pause in awe. The Cavor Dominion surrendered within 3 hours. Across the galaxy, news networks scrambled to adjust their broadcasts. Footage leaked of human formations moving through smoke-lit corridors. Footage of surgical precision. Footage of unstoppable coordination. Footage of a force that operated with quiet discipline instead of theatrical intimidation. For the first time, the galaxy realized that the polite behavior of humans had never been weakness. It had been restraint, self-chosen, carefully maintained. They chose peace because they preferred it, not because they lacked alternatives. The council reconvened in emergency session. Every representative sat in uneasy silence as Rian entered once more. This time, every eye in the hall followed him. No one underestimated his presence. He walked to the center platform with slow, deliberate steps. Hernet addressed him with a voice far softer than before. Representative of Earth, the Council has reviewed the events. The Cavor Dominion violated the treaty. Their actions were condemned. Earth acted to protect its people. The rescued civilians have been secured. We acknowledge and respect the capability of your forces. Rian nodded. We request sanctions on the Cavor Dominion. Hernet hesitated. Ultimately, the Council must vote. But few doubted the outcome. No one dared oppose Earth now. Not out of fear of destruction, but fear of waking the quiet power humans had kept hidden. The Cavor delegate, attempted a defense. They claimed misunderstanding. They claimed rogue elements. They claimed anything that might avoid consequence. But the council rejected every plea. Rian spoke only once more. Humanity will always seek peace. But if anyone harms our people again, we will respond, calmly, efficiently, decisively. The hall understood. When the session ended, representatives whispered among themselves. Some expressed admiration, others fear, but all shared one truth. They had misjudged humanity, not because humans were violent, but because humans were disciplined, focused, trained. When humans committed to a goal, they did so with absolute unity. Entire species began revising their military doctrines. Some began new treaties with Earth. Others sent delegations to learn from human officers. A few simply watched silently, unsure if they should approach or retreat. As for humanity, they returned to their quiet routines. They continued to trade. They continued to speak politely. They continued to smile at strangers. But the galaxy never looked at those smiles the same way. Weeks later, a historian attempted to summarize the shift in galactic politics. She wrote one sentence that spread across every world. The galaxy thought humans were gentle because they were weak. But now it sees humans are gentle because they are strong. Back on Earth, the soldiers who had executed the operation returned to their bases. They held no celebrations. They posted no triumphant speeches. For them, it had been just another mission. They trained the next day as if nothing unusual had happened. Professionalism was not an act for them. It was who they were. Rian returned to his residence overlooking the calm oceans of Earth. He stood on the balcony as the sun dipped behind the horizon. A soft breeze carried the scent of distant forests. He did not feel victory or pride. He felt responsibility. He had not wanted to show the galaxy the power humanity kept in reserve. But some truths could not remain hidden forever. Humans were not feared because they were violent. They were respected because they chose.